All right.
I'm right.
Here
I'm
we
in the right
are.
part of the frame, right? Hey, what's up? What's going on, Zach?
Welcome back to the
Been a little
Tarqaron
bit.
podcast, the monthly podcast here on the channel every month.
It's yeah, the last one we did was for October, I think, right?
I
I
think
think
so.
so.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
this was originally a monthly podcast. Now it's kind of more like when we feel like it, when we're horny
yeah.
type thing.
Dude, okay. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. We're not starting off the podcast there.
What do you mean?
I
You're about
was.
to go into how
I,
horny you are? God, I mean, now that you mention
no.
it,
Yeah, no,
we're meaning
I
to
was
talk
gonna.
about this.
I was gonna make a joke about that, but I don't. I don't. We don't need to start the podcast off that way.
All
I
right.
think. I think we're all set. New year, new us, though.
This is a new
So
year. All right, I
yeah,
think this is a fun new tradition to do a New Year podcast at the beginning of the
for
year.
sure. Yeah, definitely.
We did one last year where we set some goals. We had some goals in mind. We had like vague goals for the channel for ourselves, and then we had specific goals as far as gaming goes.
Hmm.
We're gonna get into those, the results, the outcome of those goals, and then we're gonna set some new ones. A fun little challenge, and we're gonna talk about what we're looking forward to in the new year as far as movies, shows, and games goes, and we'll answer some questions at the end as well.
All
I feel like
right.
we might have to figure out a way to be able to, or not answer questions. I mean, just read comments.
I'm reading comments. I was gonna be like, we had questions. When do we ask for questions? I was
We
like,
got to find a better way to work in comments more often, maybe, because that was the thing with the monthly podcast. We'd be able to read them once
yeah,
a month. Now
yeah,
it's kind of like if we're doing one every few months, it's like you go a long time between reading
yeah.
the comments. But
It's true. Yeah,
we'll have to think about that.
yeah,
All right. Well, we're in the new year. It's 2025. Nice landmark number. Nice number.
yeah.
No denying it. Do you have anything in mind for the channel for this year? Whether it's like vague or specific goals?
I think it would be neat if we somehow hit 500 subscribers.
Yeah.
I don't really care about numbers all that much. Like I honestly, I know you and I have a lot. I think we've even talked about like on the channel specifically before that like we're kind of just doing this for fun. You know, we're not really like super numbers oriented. You know, we just kind of do what we like to do, and you know, algorithm be damned.
Do I put
But I think
I put my heart and soul into this like it's my day job though. That's chill.
yeah, that's the thing. That's I think even though that's the case, even though that is the case that it's like we're not like overly numbers focused. I think it would be kind of nice to like get a like little milestone like that in, you know?
Yeah.
Like be able to reach to the because I think probably Survivor is the audience we definitely reach the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be pretty cool to be able to hit
We're
that
quite
kind
a
of
ways off.
milestone
We're
on
gonna
that.
have to do a big push. I would like to make
Yeah,
that happen though.
yeah,
I wanna
it'd be
like
cool. I mean,
need to do some guerrilla marketing or something. Like
yeah,
I thought about just like printing out shit and just throwing it everywhere, just slipping it in people's stuff. Business cards.
go to a supermarket and just like tuck stuff into like soda cans or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
like they open their Coke and they're like, "What's this? Tarqaron?
Mm-hmm.
Who's this weirdo?"
It's
And then they would
stuff.
find out, and then
Yeah.
they would know it was me that likely put it in there because I've talked about how I live in New Hampshire. They'd be like, "I knew that weirdo."
It's tough because like yeah, some of the videos spread more than others just naturally. Like it
Hmm.
feeds into the algorithm more. Like we review like certain movies like Wicked, it'll reach a little more people than others. And
Then like Kutavim Shiksham or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
of course. But I've like with the Survivor stuff, I've dabbled here and there, like posting on the Reddit, getting it out there. I want to try to find a way to get it out more though, because I think we have good.
Yeah.
It's
Are
a
there?
good Survivor series. I mean, and it's a unique or in a unique lane. We just need to spread the word more
Are
somehow.
there any other kind of like small avenues in that regard? I mean, I guess we could talk about. We don't have to talk about this here, but like,
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any other like forums or anything like that, like that are just like Survivor dedicated or
I know. I don't
you know.
really think so. Like, there's like Facebook groups and stuff like that,
Hmm.
but the main thing is like Reddit, as far as
Yeah,
like forum type things go. 'Cause
yeah,
then there are some channels and podcasts that have big followings and stuff, and there's a community around those. But obviously, you can't just go in there and try to, shill your stuff. It's not very. But
Not cool. Yeah, I get it. It's kind of that
yeah,
is kind of bad etiquette, but
any growth is good though.
yeah.
You know, we're being
So
our authentic selves.
yeah, so I mean, like I mean, again, it doesn't have to be that. I just think it would be kind of cool to see
It would be very cool.
that happen.
Very
But
cool. And I think we have some good stuff on the channel for real. I think we have some fun series that there's a lot of variety, you know,
yeah,
and with all of our fun randomized series, experiencing new stuff all the time.
hmm
Plus, like fun random stuff like Mind Crushers and Mad Libs and
yeah,
podcasts, all these different reviews. I think we have a lot to offer. That
hmm
you know, I'm proud of the channel, and we've done like 700 videos now. You
yeah.
guys look
I
at
mean,
that.
you should be. You've done a lot. You've done a lot in terms of like all the editing and thumbnails and
Yeah.
hosting. I mean, you've done a lot. You put a lot of work into the what you do. So, I'd like to see that reflected in
Mm-hmm.
some way. So,
Because I have my solo channel, and that's another thing I want to work more on in this year. My
hmm
solo channel, I have like 4,000 subscribers on that one. So it's like, it's got to be sitting there on the back burner for a while.
yeah,
But I want to try to post on that more regularly. I'd like to get into doing solo videos for like gaming videos, talking about movies, TV, maybe talking about more reality TV, like the new stuff that I can't talk about on here so much.
hmm
So exploring my options. I always like creating stuff, so I'm always looking for new ways to do it. So that'll always be a constant for me. But Tarqaron, we've been very consistent. We rarely ever missed a week. You know, we miss like 1 week every 6 months. It feels like almost like we rarely
yeah,
ever.
yeah. It's very rare. I mean, the only exception to that was like we took a prolonged break there,
Yeah.
just because stuff was going down. I moved in that period too, so
Yep. And like and earlier this year we met up, did our 5 years. That's worth mentioning as well. For our
yeah.
5 year celebration, we met up in person. Now,
hmm
if you're stumbling on the channel, it might not even seem like a big deal because they might just like think we're like friends who live like 10 minutes from each other or something.
Right.
Because I
Yeah.
never think
But
about that, and then I'm like, yeah, I guess if we don't mention it, it's not a big deal. But yeah, it's
yeah.
like we we started this way online. We met online, and it's been
hmm
this way. You know, we live miles and miles away from each other, so
Yeah.
it's we had only met once in 2014, I think it
Yeah.
was 2015,
Yeah. I think yeah. It's
and then
24. Yeah. Was it 20? Yeah. I think it was PAX 2015. I believe because
one of
I
the
was
two.
already yeah.
But so yeah, we hadn't met till since then, so it's pretty
Yeah.
unprecedented for us to be able to do a bunch of videos, watch a bunch of Survivor stuff
hmm
there. But yeah, we were able to take a bit of a break after that just because we had backloaded so many things. Well, a break from recording. I was still making all the videos and editing them, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But it's gonna be fun. We always got new stuff on the way. As far as series go, we have a ton of them. We just started Pilot Palette and Bargain Bin are new series for us, so we'll be doing more of that this year for sure.
More of those. I think we do legitimately need to fit in at least try to fit in one more box art battles than we have in previous years.
Yeah.
And they're hard. They are kind of difficult for us. Like we've always talked about, like oh we need to do more of those, and it's like, but like we did kind of come to the self admission that we've always known this, but we've never really said it out loud. It's like it's hard because it is a time commitment for our guests, and we always have to have a guest for it.
Mm-hmm.
So that can present some difficulty in terms of just general,
Because it's long.
you know.
It's long
Yeah.
and it's usually by itself, so we need like a free slot, and then also for it to align with another guest schedule. But so it's easier to squeeze in some other series. Or like, oh, what can we squeeze in here? You never really squeeze in box art battles so much.
hmm
But yeah, it's like we were like, yeah, we got to make sure to do more often. And then it's like I think
Yeah.
8 months have passed since the last one
Yes.
already. It's that quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've always done a movie review series every year.
hmm
I think I tossed one out to you that we might do this year. It's a smaller
Oh,
one.
yeah. Yeah, that would be fun, I
It'd
think,
be
to
fun.
do.
So we might do that. I don't know if it'll be another one or a bigger one. We'll see. But I think it's fine to kind of like maybe enjoy some of our other things and have a little more freedom. Because when you do the movie review series, you're always having one slot taken up each week. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not as much freedom to do random stuff.
Right.
Though it's still fun, of course. But yeah, Chance Time, Pilot Palette, and Bargain Bin are all our three like randomized series. And we're
Mm-hmm.
trying to kind of do at least one of them a month and kind of rotate through them as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what we've been trying to do. So we'll see. The other thing, 3D Mario games. Okay,
Yes, that's been a project of ours. We've only really gotten through two,
we got
but
through two. So it was like we'll try to do it once a month or once every other month. Because realistically, some stuff comes up that's like it's hard to do. Like if we're doing a movie series and we're doing that and we got a Gents challenge and we are reviewing this other movie, it becomes a lot. So
mm-hmm.
it's probably like more like an every other month type of thing. But we'll see how many
Right.
we can get. It would be pretty amazing if we could tear through all of them. But we've got like 7 of them left or something.
Yeah, there's quite a few more, so
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
yeah. We can see. We might be able to manage it.
Anything else? Any other things in mind?
No, I don't think so. I think that about sums it up. Yeah, just doing what we normally do, and just making more of it, staying free, staying loose, but
Always stay loose.
yeah, stay loose.
Stay
Yeah,
loose. Never
hang
tight.
loose.
Never tight.
Yeah.
So but that's one thing I didn't do. I didn't look back in that podcast. I don't know if we said anything specific then for the channel
Yeah.
to see if we did it or not.
Yeah.
But I think I said like I want to do more series and stuff, more experimental.
Mhm.
So we've kind of been doing that.
We definitely have been doing that. Yeah.
We did Chaos Month. That was this year as well. It's
Mhm.
last year. That was a lot of fun.
We did a whole podcast that was dedicated to just spinning a wheel on different topics.
hmm
So
So it's like I feel like in the new year it will be probably less of a focus in adding in new series, whereas just like checking in on
Right.
all our different series more often.
yeah,
You know,
feeding into stuff that we already like doing.
yeah. But we always like doing new ideas, so
That's true
it's
too.
fun. It's fun. And we already have a list. We'll get into towards the end of the podcast. We'll talk about the things we're looking forward to in the year. And
Mhm.
I have a few of them. I'm like, these are almost guaranteed Tarqaron reviews. We'll see if you agree, but we always have those set movie reviews, and then it's like whatever we want to sprinkle in there ourselves. So, all right, let's get into our goals from last year, our gaming goals. All right.
Okay.
So last year we each had our own goal of something we wanted to do gaming wise, as
Mhm.
well as we each made a list of 10 games that we said it wasn't like a specific like, oh, we need to get all these done or anything. It was just like it would be nice to play these
Right, yeah.
loose goal for us, and we're gonna see how we did. Okay. First of all,
Okay. Yeah. Let's see how we did.
First of all, my goal that I set for myself was to catch up on all the Telltale games,
Yep.
literally all of them in the year,
Mhm.
and
quite a
I beat
endeavor.
0.
I was gonna say that's quite the endeavor to attempt.
I played one episode of the 3rd season of The Walking Dead.
Wow.
It's like I really wanted to recapture. It's like I want to get back to because I loved these games, so I just want to really get back in that zone. There's
Mhm.
something about it that's hard to get into, like because I know when I'm playing that I need to sit down. Like the way I play them, I want to play the whole episode all at
Right.
once. So it's like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. You have to,
You do have to. For those, you really do have to play the whole episode. There's no you can't not do that. I think
So
it's
I feel
not
like-
fair to it.
Yeah, like this last year, I've been favoring more games that I can just like get in, get out as much as I want. Might have time to do 3 hours one day and then 30 minutes the next day. So that kind of thing. You can't really do that with those. And so it's like, even if I had a block of time, for some reason in my mind, mentally, it's like easier to be like, let me play this game. I can stop at any time more easily.
Yeah.
You know, rather than like a full commitment. It's like, this is the rest of my night right here, this game. It's tough. But I'm going to try to play more. I'm not going to set that as a specific goal for myself, but I'll try. All right, what was your general goal before we get into the 10 games we had?
General goal was to try to play a game on every play and or beat. I think I may even have said beat a game on every single console I owned, which is a lot. That's a huge ask. I know, but I do own a lot of short games, particularly on older consoles. There are quite a few short games on there. I think I ended up beating games on 4 or 5 consoles. So the 4 consoles that I beat games on would have been the PC. So I beat a couple. I think a game maybe. I think I beat like the PS3, the Switch, and the PlayStation 5, and then maybe a PS4 game in there. I can't really remember.
And none of that was done consciously, right? You just happened to beat you just happened to beat games.
Yeah, that was not done. That was not really done consciously at all. I kind of had it in the back of my mind through parts of the year, but like, man, with everything that went on for me, like in my personal life last year, it just kind of went out the window. Like,
always does. I knew though. I remember saying at the time, like, you're dreaming. There's no way.
Yeah. Well, it's true.
We're so ambitious for ourselves in the new year.
So true to the fact that I actually lent my PS2 to somebody last year.
Yeah.
And in September, and I didn't get it back until like literally 2 days ago.
You removed a whole option.
So I removed it.
Get it out
I removed an option. Yeah, I was just like, nah, ain't no way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like a PS2, Dreamcast, DS, 3DS, Game Boy Advance, Xbox 360, Xbox One. No way. Didn't even come close. I didn't do any of those.
Neither of us came close on those.
No, not even remotely.
I made it like, what's it, like the 4th of a way into one of the games.
Or 5th of the way into one of the games.
5th of the way into one of the however many. I don't even know how many there are. And behind.
Well, there's the 4 episodes. There are the 4 seasons of Walking Dead, and then there's.
Oh yeah, I just have season 3, season 4 of Walking Dead.
So there's 2 seasons of Batman, 1 season of Guardians of the Galaxy,
Minecraft.
2 seasons of Minecraft or just 1?
Yeah, there's 2.
I think there's 2 for story mode, right?
Game.
Yeah.
2.
Then.
Arcane Expanse. I mean.
Oh, that's right. That one's so random. The Expanse. Tales from the Borderlands.
I played that one.
Did you play Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Played Game of Thrones. Did you play what's another like?
I played that.
You played Wolf Among Us? Okay. That was an older one, so I think there's like 1 or 2 more that I'm not remembering.
Probably. There's like probably around 10 it sounds like. Because I wasn't including the ones before. It was basically, I think it was saying like once The Walking Dead came out, after that. Because I do have a couple of the older ones like Jurassic Park and Back to the Future, but I wasn't including those.
That's not really count. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Strong Beds, cool game for attractive people. That was an early one as well.
Yep.
It was a WiiWare game, baby.
Yeah, I played a couple episodes on that, but then the WiiWare shut down before we had all of them, so I'll never be able to finish it on there.
Yeah, I don't know if they re-released those in any way. I'm not sure. But I'm sure you could find them through less than legal means, but
But yeah, so did you have I didn't have one in mind, like a specific gaming goal outside of the 10 games. Did you have anything? Or we're just going to go for our 10?
I think I might have had another somewhere. I wrote it down. It's fun because like I wrote down on my phone the 10 games that I tried to play. And then I had written down on like a napkin that it was around here for as long as I can remember. Like all year I was thinking about doing, and then I don't ended up. I was literally just like trying to look around for it. a couple seconds ago, but I think I may have.
Like a goal for last year
I,
or a goal for this year?
I may have used it. It was a goal for last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
I meant like, do you have another one? Like, did you have one in
Oh,
place of that one?
oh, gotcha. No, I don't really have anything like that. I think so. It's funny because there's a channel. A friend of mine told me about there's a YouTube channel that she recommended that I check out, and can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I've watched a bunch of the episodes that he's done, but one of them was about like he did like a couple years ago about gaming backlog stuff. He just recently did another one. He was like, "Oh, by the way, I did a gaming backlog episode like secretly without telling anyone, and it was way better this time than the one I'd planned it all out." So I was like, "That's a fascinating thing." But I will say, the parameters that he had in his initial challenge were like beyond the realm of realism. Like we gave ourselves 10 games here, and then are going to be assigning each other 5 other games. That's 15 games. He had something in the league of like 100 games or something like that, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like to even want to attempt something like that. So, or it might have been more like it might have been slimmed down a little bit more than that, like 50 or 60 or 70 or something. But even still, it's just like that's way too much to try to, because that will just kill your enjoyment of games when you make it a job. So
I'll say for me, I have a number in mind of games I want to finish, but I want to say this, that 2024 is the first year where I feel completely satisfied with the amount of things I finished between movies and games and all that. Every year before, it was always my mission was like, I need to do more. I need to play more. I need to watch more. I need to experience more because I'm not doing much. Like, if you look back at several years ago, I beat like 4 games, 5 games in a year, 6 games. But this last year, I beat 31 games, and I'm like, awesome. I'm not like, oh, I need to go for 40. I'm like, I'm perfectly content where I'm at. So I put my goal is 25 games for this year.
I think that's a pretty reasonable
I was thinking
goal.
20 is more like more reasonable to me, but the reason I picked 25 is because I was like, I want to watch 50 movies this year and 25 seasons of shows. So it was like, oh, nice round 100 if I do 25 for that. So that's my goal. 50 movies, 25 games, 25 shows for a nice 100. The 50 movies is a steep goal because in my most watched year, which was last year, I watched 53 movies. So just barely passed it. And that was with like 2 Film Buffs challenges, and I had more free time at points because I was like unemployed for a month. So I was watching a lot more. So it's going to be even harder to hit that this year. But I was like, I'll keep it at that 50. And then shows, I watched 18 shows last year, but I have a full show rotation going now, plus a lot of reality shows that I watch. So I feel like 25 is not very hard. I'm already about to be like 3 shows in because of this TV challenge too. So that's my general goal overall. So 25 games. I'm not like going to be upset that if I don't hit it, but it's a general goal. It's like, and that's not all like long games. Like last year I beat a good amount of lengthy games, but also had a lot of little random things mixed in, like the Leo's Fortunes and the Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2, like random games like that.
Yeah.
But all right, first let's talk about the 10 games that we assigned ourselves last year and see how many we finished. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. What do you got?
All right. I'm just going to list them all out. The games I assigned myself to beat last year were Bloodborne, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade, the episode intermission, Tears of the Kingdom, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, The Last of Us Part 2, Octopath Traveler, and Control. I beat 1 game on this list, and that was by far the shortest one, and that was the Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade episode intermission, which is about 5 hours of game time.
Wow.
Maybe 6 or 7, but it was very short. It's literally 2 chapters, I guess is what is included. Like the length of like 2 chapters in the base game. So it was about like 5-6 hours.
Now I'll be curious to see how many of those carry over into your new 10 when we get into those. We'll see.
Uh-huh.
All right, for me, I had a GameCube game, a Wii game, Hogwarts Legacy, an indie game, a Telltale game, Kingdom Hearts 2, Life is Strange 2, a Dragon Quest game, a Bethesda game, and Uncharted 2. And so I beat a grand total of 4 of those. The only specific one I beat was Hogwarts Legacy. And then I beat a GameCube game, which was Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. I think I beat maybe another one as well, but that's at least one. And then a Wii game. What was the Wii game that I beat? There was a couple. Bust a Move Bash on the Wii.
Okay, is that like a party? It's a Bust a Move.
Bust a Move is a puzzle game.
Puzzle game, yeah.
Which is actually ass, even though I like the Bust a Move game generally. It's really bad.
Really?
Smarty Pants, which is a little like...
It's a trivia game, right? Yeah.
And then Okami.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
So... But I didn't even consider that when I was like...
I forgot that was the game. I forgot that was the game that was the system you played it on.
Yep, so I beat that.
Yeah.
And then an indie game, I beat a couple. I beat Overcooked 2, Celeste, and I think there was probably a couple others too. So then, ironically, I didn't beat any of the other ones. I ironically didn't beat a single Telltale game when my main goal was to beat all of them. So
great, love it.
So we'll see how many of those carry over for me as well. Yeah. So you mentioned it briefly. We're gonna do things a little differently this time. We're each gonna assign ourselves. We're gonna do our standard 10 games, but we're gonna make it a little friendly competition this time around. All right, for the glory at the end of the year, who will be the best gamer
of 2025 on Tarqaron?
That's right. So you'll get 1 point for every game you finish from those 10. But now in this new rendition, we're each assigning 5 games for the other person to play that we don't know yet what they are, but you get 2 points for each of those games you play. So you're a little incentivized to go for those versus just going for the 10 that you picked.
So you could max out with 20 points. That's big. It's big deal.
It's big.
Yeah, it's big. It's
a
real
maximum
big.
amount of 20 points.
Yeah.
0 is also possible.
It's negative's not possible though, so that's something.
But we'll see. So it all depends on how you want to go about it. We try to mix in at least some that are decently length. So hopefully they're relatively even lists. We'll see. I have some pretty long ones in here. But we don't know each other's lists, and then we don't know what we've assigned each other either. So we'll see how it goes.
Right.
I might have some in mind that I was going to assign you. You might assign yourself first, and then I'll have to, on the fly, rearrange some stuff. We'll see. Also, I don't entirely know Alex's collection, so I know he has these games I have here, but if I have to wing it, we'll see.
We can work that out. We can kind of work that out if need be.
Okay, so and the winner, we just decided right before this, the winner of this challenge at the end of the year or the beginning of the year next year will be awarded a trophy from the other person. So the other person will pay. It's going to be like a $30-ish trophy. Going to have our like engraved in it our name and whatever we want to say. What best gamer?
Yeah.
Is that the title we're going for?
Tarqaron's best gamer.
Tarqaron's best gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll have the glory, and then maybe we'll have to make a point to have it presented in the background like the rest of the new year after that.
Yeah.
And then try to regain glory the next year. I'm just going to say I'm going to trounce your ass and you know it, and I think you already know it. So
yeah, so my friends who I was spending time with this weekend were like my friend Josh and Tara were both like, Alec, we are going to, like, after we're done the game we're playing Baldur's Gate 3. and
Hmm.
you can't say anything about it. And I was like, well, no, I've already, yeah, because I told them before that's like, because we'd sort of had that as an option to like, as the next game we would play together.
Hmm.
And one of the things I was like, well, I kind of want to play that game myself before I play through it with other people. And they were like, yeah, that's fair. And now they're like, yeah, you're never going to play it unless we make you. So we're going to make you play it.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah,
It's true.
yeah.
A lot of empty promises going on.
Uh huh.
All right, so we're gonna do. Let's alternate our going through our 10 that we've assigned ourselves first.
Let's do it. Let's do it up.
What's the first game that you're?
Uh, okay, first game for me is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And
Make note of
this
all these
is
too.
this is especially significant because I have a time limit on this.
Hmm.
And my brother got me tickets to go see the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Orchestra tour at the beginning of March. And yeah, so I need to beat this game before then, which means I need to be starting to I haven't put any time in it yet.
Yeah.
And we're already like halfway through the month. I have a time limit and I really, really, really need to put time into it. So that that one's gonna have that one just like has to by its very virtue. Like I don't want to spoil the ending of the game or anything for myself by seeing cutscenes up on the big screen.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that one was gonna come. For me, so I did a fun little thing this year where I was like, one of my 10 games, I'm gonna let my brother decide, like outright. He'll pick
Okay.
one of my 10 games. The game he
That's
picked
fun.
for me was Skies of Arcadia Legends on the GameCube.
Oh, that's great. What a
So
great game. I wish I had that game. I wish I owned that.
yeah, it was always one of his favorites growing up. I know it's
Hmm.
been years since he's played it. Um, I had dabbled with it when I was really young, but never anywhere near playing through it. So
Hmm.
that'll be fun.
Cool. All right, next game for me is a Return Final Fantasy 16.
You want to
So
return that game to the game store?
no,
That's
it's a return
crazy.
from last year. I actually did boot this up about a month ago with the intent to start playing it again. But I was like in the middle of like another platinum trophy grind, so I was like, I still want to. I want to do that first before I jump back into this. Um, so I would say, and you can edit this part out. Well, maybe not. I don't know. For with you because you beat it, which is crazy to me. By the way, you beat if you really think about it, you beat the Final Fantasy game before I did.
Yeah.
Um, I'm about so
The better game
there's
or
it. It's
spoiler?
not a spoiler. It's not too big of a spoiler. There are time skips in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm after the second time skip. I'm like kind of like a quest or two just into that. I'm about like halfway through the game, you'd say. Maybe just like a little under half. I know that's the biggest chunk of the game is the
Yeah.
part that takes place there.
Yeah. Probably so.
So, yeah. So I know I definitely still have a ways to go, but um but yeah, I do want to go back and actually cuz I was loving the game. I really loved my time with it. So,
Uh,
and there's like just basically
yeah.
no excuse
Yeah.
at this point. So,
Yeah. I loved it. I loved it too. And I
yeah.
think I made a point of doing every single quest and almost
Mm,
everything else. So I put in somewhere between 80 and 100 hours by the end of that.
yeah. I've heard that like some people are one of the things that I think I've heard criticism about that game is that some of the quests are pretty dull and samey, but I have also heard people say that like doing all of them it does actually like lend itself to like the overall game feel of the game, like of like
Yeah.
fulfilling just the journey in some
I think
way.
so.
So, yeah.
I remember we were talking about this in the Discord. Like, I unironically I fuck with like the weird random quests that are like
Mm.
pretty stupid. Objectively, it's like go help me with this arts and crafts project. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I gotta save the world, but like let me spend time doing this out of my day.
There's something really like there is something genuinely wholesome to me about that. That's like even someone like as big like something like that isn't too underneath the hero to
Yeah,
go do, you know?
exactly. But shit like that, it's like, can you go collect 15 flowers from this region over here? I'm like, dude,
I can't go because there's
there's
monsters.
literally impending doom. Like, there's a ticking clock, and yet this quest is popping up to like,
Yeah.
can you go like pick out a new song for me? Like this type of
Yeah.
shit. I'm like, okay, got nothing better to do for sure.
That's great.
But yeah, my PlayStation 5 says have like 100 something hours in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I was playing it, I didn't have like consistent Wi-Fi, so the hours were being wonky, and then it ultimately settled on 107 hours or something. I don't know if that's actually accurate or not. So somewhere around there. All right, next up for me is Resident Evil 4 on the PlayStation 5. So,
all right, well,
I had previously beat Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube, and I knew this was one I had to check it off. Yeah.
Should I say that ruined one of my choices? So I'm gonna have to dig. I'm gonna have to dig into your backloggery.
You gotta pivot. I already had a list of over 5 for that reason.
I should have. I actually did originally, and then I paired it. Now I shouldn't have done that. It was stupid. All right. Well, my next game is Bloodborne.
Okay.
Which is again from last year. We didn't do Return to Yharnam. My call. Both Tara and Josh, who I had mentioned with Baldur's Gate 3, was they like to do Return to Yharnam as like a fan, community thing, where everybody goes online and plays Bloodborne again for like the anniversary of the game. We didn't do it last year, but we're talking when we get together that we want to do it again this year. So this time for real, I want to beat the game. Because like I've gotten further and further every single time that I played it, and like I got to like an extremely good moment of the game that like it's funny hearing them talk about it as much as I have. I didn't really know that was a thing that happened, and then it happened, and I was like, oh, this changes the game like in a extremely interesting way that I wasn't expecting, and but then I didn't really get that much farther than that last time we were playing. So this time I want to be intentional and like, even when we're not all playing together, I'm going to be playing the game. So yeah.
Okay. Next up for me, The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. It's season 3 of The Walking Dead Telltale.
Go on,
surely
Zach,
now I'll do it. Yeah.
surely.
So that should be a gimme. One of my gimmies. I feel like.
I hope so. All right. Next for me is Cyberpunk 2077. This is a little bit of a cheapo cheat in some way because I'm probably about halfway through the game.
Crazy work.
It's one of those things where it's like I'm in the middle of a game playing it. I was doing it for a Gens Challenge last year, actually. And one of the only reasons it's not on my list is because I didn't beat it. So I want to actually go back to it. Continue where I feel I left off at a pretty good point, where it's like I still am pretty, even though it's been a little bit since I played it, I'm still really like in my mind I'm still very fresh in terms of like the what happened in the game. So I'm just gonna head back in and keep plugging away. That game is incredible, and yeah.
Bloodborne and Cyberpunk right next to each other. Those are the two you got assigned from the Chosen One himself.
And it didn't work.
Next up, coming back from the last list again, is Life is Strange 2. For the longest time, this has been on my list. And this one is also like a built-in other game because I'm going to beat Before the Storm before it. But I was like, I'm part of the way through that game, and I didn't want to make a whole spot on this list for that, so I always put Life is Strange 2. So I'll beat Before the Storm and then 2.
Does that include the Captain, whatever its name?
Captain Spirit. That's right.
Captain Spirit, yeah.
Yeah, that comes before 2 also. So I'll do that also.
Yeah. I haven't heard much. It's interesting. I haven't heard much about 2 itself because I think I tried to like shy away from spoilers, but I remember hearing very, very positive buzz about Captain Spirit. So when that first came out.
I hadn't heard anything about that. Yeah. I feel like I heard pretty good things about 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just... The Telltale games, Life is Strange games, have been meaning to get back to them the longest time. See if I can finally do it this year. Let's go.
Cool. Well, next on the list for me is Ghost of Tsushima. This is my most anticipated game of 2020, and I still haven't played it. And I know it's going to be something that I love. I know it's going to be an all-time classic for me.
Yeah,
But
it's great.
I just need to knuckle down and just play the damn thing already.
It's
So,
great. Just inject this shit right into my veins. That's the shit right there. Also from last year, um, Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2.
oh, okay, yeah, great choice.
I want to still get around to this one because Kingdom Hearts. I finally beat it a couple years ago, and I was like, it's okay, nothing
Hmm.
crazy, but I love the vibe of it and all the dizziness mixed in, and
Hmm.
I know when I play Kingdom Hearts 2, if I don't like that one, then it's probably gonna be it for me, because
Yeah.
that's like the peak of from what I've heard. So
Now, here's a question: did you play Chain of Memories?
I did not.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. All right.
For no
Yeah,
reason.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is yeah, I go back and forth between that and Birth by Sleep being my favorite. Um, I think there's stuff in Birth by Sleep that I like more than 2, but then there's a lot of stuff in 2 that I like more than Birth by Sleep. So, but yeah, two's a certified 2000 smash hit right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, next up on my list, I'm swinging for the fences this year, but I really want to play these games that I've been neglecting that I know I would love. And the next one here is Hogwarts Legacy.
There you go.
Yeah. So I know you played this last year. Rusty's played it as well.
Yeah, I give you the
Um,
highest recommendation
extremely,
for that one. Yeah.
extremely high recommendations from the both of you. Um, and I mean, it's Kim, this Johnny Millennium's wife Kim. It's like her
Mm-hmm.
favorite game of all time.
Your favorite RPG ever, at
Her
least,
favorite
right?
RPG of all time, at the very least. So, which is wild. She's played like Final Fantasies and Dragon Quests and
Right?
Persona, and that's her favorite RPG of all time. So that kind of blew my mind when I heard that. So yeah.
It's just some. It's one of those things that you don't want to rush through it.
Mm,
Just live in there, live in the world
mm,
for a while.
yeah.
As the Harry Potter fan that you are, like, I feel like you would
Yeah.
appreciate all the little details in there. Like just in Hogwarts alone, there's so much to just explore, and it's a lot
Mm,
of fun. And then you go out of there, there's even more. So yeah, absolutely. All right, for me, last year I said a Dragon Quest game. This time I
hmm.
said specifically Dragon Quest Nine.
Okay.
Dragon Quest Nine is a game that I love. Back when it first came out in 2009, I think
Hmm.
I played through it alongside my brother. Like we were both playing at the same time, and I made it pretty much all the way up to the final boss, and then I just stopped. That was like an old
Oh
tendency of
no.
mine. So never actually beat it, and I
Did you
keep
all
wanting to get back to it.
did you all ever get the metal slime dungeon tag?
I don't know. I don't remember.
So, because I don't know if you remember about that game, but there was like an early Street Pass function basically where you
Mm-hmm.
could like tag people and you'd get
Hmm.
like you'd basically share like a dungeon, like a little mini dungeon with each person. And there was somebody in Japan that had generated a dungeon that was only metal slimes, which meant like you could grind for levels and money like super easily. And then that there was efforts and success at getting that spread to other regions of the world. So I just didn't know if that ever
Well,
happened.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember from that is that we would link up and play the
Hmm.
multiplayer where you can like go around the same world. That
That's
was
such a
pretty cool.
cool little thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I always loved about that game too is that like the different equipment and stuff at the time, especially, I was like blown away that it actually changed their appearance because so many of the RPGs you equip this thing and you don't see any difference. And I was like, oh well, that's so cool.
Mm.
You can see it's different on the model. They're walking around and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Still a
it's
lot of
like,
Japanese RPGs that don't do that.
yeah.
They'll do it with like weapons, but they won't do it with like armor and equipment and stuff.
And
So.
that's something I've always appreciated. One thing I love about Hogwarts Legacy is that what I was worried about when I first played it is that there's so many different clothing and accessories and stuff you can get.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, but once I get an updated one that's better, I'm gonna always wear the better one, even if it doesn't look good. But they actually have the slots for
Yeah.
cosmetic,
Yes.
just for
This is
cosmetic. It's a beautiful
this
thing.
isn't. It's an MMO thing, and I love every time I see that in a video game. Thank you for doing that. Thank you.
It's a beautiful
Because
thing. Yeah.
I love this outfit. I want to look like this the whole time. Give me the better stats. Give me the better stats to something else. But I want to look. I love this look. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I really don't want to run around with this goofy ass. Like they have some really goofy stuff, like a freaking like party hat type stuff. I'm like, I don't really want to wear this, but it's like the best stats for some reason right now. But luckily, you don't have to.
That's fun. That's fun. All right. Next on my list is maybe a little bit of a surprise. Or like it might be seemingly coming out of left field because I don't know how much I've even really talked about this game, but that is Ukulele.
Mm,
I know there's Yuka Replayly is coming out later this year.
right.
Um,
You play
but
Lee.
I want to try this base version of the game,
Okay.
and the reason why is because I feel like it's interesting because like I feel like I've heard this game gassed up because in our little circle, Rusty loves just alone. Rusty loves this game. This is like one of his favorite games, and I was talking to Dubs who was playing it recently, and he was like, I'm gonna be honest, I hated it. He was like there are parts of it that were really fun, and then there are parts of it that were so frustrating. I just had to put the game down and stop. And I got really he's like I tried really hard to give this a chance. He got like super far, and he was just like I can't finish it. It's just I'm not having fun at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found that fascinating because I was like, it's the first time I'd sort of reintroduced the idea of like, oh, that game was like not well received when it first came out, and I've heard it gassed up by Rusty a lot, and then sort of re-engaging with that sort of like the conversation there. I'm like, I don't know. I want to play the game for myself. I want to figure out like what I would feel about it because like I am somebody that I have no real nostalgia for Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie because I never played those games. I played like a little bit of Conquer, which is a very different game than those in a lot of ways. And then Donkey Kong 64 is a game that I love, and I know a lot of people have mixed feelings on that game too. So I'm like, I would just want to give it a shot. I want to see what it's like. And yeah, I want to try to see what's up with it.
Yeah, I very briefly started playing it, like 30 minutes, and I just wasn't feeling it, so I put it down.
Mhm.
There was nothing about the world that was really grabbing me, but I do want to revisit it as well. So yeah, Replayly is tempting, though.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff. I was looking up like, oh, what are they changing about it? There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff a lot of work they put into fixing problems people had with that game.
I
So,
bet.
but
All right. Next up for me is a Call of Duty game. All right.
you own tons of them.
I own tons of them, and the backlog keeps growing. And then I hear so much good things about like the new one, like Black Ops 6. I'm
Yeah.
like, I haven't beaten any of the Black Ops, so
It it made me super sad because I was actually pretty excited about Black Ops 6, and then I heard the campaign was pretty good,
mhm.
and I heard zombies was pretty good, and then they showed that they've been using AI art basically constantly through the game,
Mhm.
and that they were also planning on replacing all the voice actors with AI
Oh,
people.
cool.
And I was like, hey, that's gross. I don't kind of want to play that anymore.
Dang. Yeah.
That made me feel bad. I was like, oh man. So that's gonna have to wait for a sale probably before I play
Yeah.
that, and then I don't want to give it any more money than that.
Well, that's the thing. I have so many Call of Duty games backed up that like I can't even really justify buying a new one anyway. Because like I have so many.
Yeah.
So that's why I put A1 because there's no particular one that's standing out to me. I might even just randomize it out of all of them. Because even some of the
Black
ones
Ops
I've played a lot,
2.
even the ones I've played a lot, like Black Ops, I never beat. Like
Oh, really?
I was, like,
Oh,
all in
okay.
on the multiplayer. So
Yeah. Black Ops 1 is really good. I've heard people say very good stuff about Black Ops 2 as well, but
yeah, so
I-
I think I have Black Ops 1, 2, 3. I might have 4. I have Black Ops Cold War. I have World War II, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare.
You've got them all.
Yeah, Modern Warfare remake thing. So many, not even including the older ones too that I have, like on the GameCube and PSP.
Yeah. Big red one.
The big red one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do have that one.
The big red one.
Yeah. All right.
Like Clifford, the big red one. Next up, I have Stellar Blade. This comes as no surprise to anybody that knows me. I played the demo of this game, and I thought it was awesome. And I picked the game up at launch because I wanted to support the devs. I like Shift Up. They're good at what they do, making extremely attractive women. And they do a really good job at doing that. So yeah, I mean, and the game was great. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I loved the game.
Forgot about the game for a second.
That's that's kind of the joke on Twitter, is that people are like, do people actually share gameplay of this game, or is it just screenshots of Eve? Like what's going on here? Yeah, so I want to actually play through it.
I've heard it's stellar.
I've heard it's Blade.
Blade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good year for Blade. All right. For me, next up, I've got Mr. Sandland. Sandland.
Mr. Sandland.
This is a fun game.
Nice.
I've only played a couple hours of it, but I know I love it. And it just came out. It was an awkward time. I think maybe like a Gens challenge was just starting or something.
Yeah, I think
so
I think it did
count. Stick with it, but I know I love it. Akira Toriyama.
Yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace.
And yeah, I've heard everyone who plays it speaks highly of it. So, Happy Console Gamer was the one that kind of put it on the map for me to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got it, and I definitely want to get on that sooner than later.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
All right, next up I have Record of Lodoss War Deedlit in Labyrinth.
Excuse
me indeed.
How many slurs was that?
Huh?
How many slurs was that in there? Record of Lodoss War.
Lodoss War.
All right.
So Record of Lodoss War is an old anime series.
That was one of the ones I was going to give you. Damn it.
Was it?
Yeah. No.
Oh. I was like, how the hell did you know it? What are you talking about?
I couldn't even tell you the name again.
It's a game that my brother got me for Christmas this year, and it's a Metroidvania. And yeah, I mean, it looks really stylish. I think Robman talked about it on an old episode of Speaking of Happy Console Gamer, like a really long time. That's what put it on the map for me, because I'm pretty sure I heard Rob talk about it, and he was like speaking really highly of it, and I was like, oh, that game sounds like it's right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
So yeah.
Very nice. Let's see. Next up, I'll do Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch.
All right.
It's about time. This one's always been sitting on my shelf, and has never been at the top of my list to get to, but it's always seemed like I would love it, and it's the exact kind of world I'm in the mood for right now. So, absolutely, give it to me. Hopefully, I can get
Cozy Ghibli.
Yeah.
Cozy Ghibli vibes. Yeah, exactly. The music is amazing in that game. I will say that.
Yeah.
So I think that was a Gens Challenge game for me a long time ago. I got maybe like 15 hours into it, 10 hours into it. It's good. I liked it, but I never beat it.
All right, so your last game
so
on your
my
list.
final game is a game that my brother also got me for my birthday this past year, and that is Stray.
Stray, the the pussy game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. That's what it is. We get Stellar Blade and we get Stray. You know, it's all coming together. It's full circle.
Big
there.
fan of the kitty cat.
Yeah. Stray.
It's the year of the kitty.
The year. Yikes. Yeah. So Stray, it looked fun. Game got a lot of buzz when it came out. It's interesting because I I feel like I've heard like no one talk about it since then. Like since just like it's just cut sort of. I guess maybe that's the nature of some indie games that get a lot of buzz, or they just kind of fall off the face of the earth in terms of the conversation after that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in seeing what this game has to offer. I'll tell you what, Balatro is not gonna lose any steam whatsoever. Everyone's gonna be talking about that game
Yeah.
for forever. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, so last game for me, Stray.
Very nice. Very nice list. Last game for me is a big one. It's a doozy. It's The Witcher 3.
Ooh, that is a big one.
Yeah.
That's
Witcher
a good
4
choice.
is coming out, so like what better time? It's one I've been on my radar for a while too. It's one of those, you got to sink. It's a big time commitment. Just to beat it, it was like
Yeah.
it was like 50 plus hours just to beat it, and that's like
Yeah.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
that's like just beelining it for only the mandatory things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll be there for a while when I play it. These are some of these games are pretty chunky that I got on here. So, but I'm looking forward to it. Try to hit it off my backlog here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so those are our 10 that we've assigned ourselves. Now
Yes.
the mystery box of the 5 we're assigning each other. Now a
All
couple
right.
of these, now that I'm thinking of them, I'm like I don't know. Again, with not having your backloggery, I don't know if you have them or not necessarily. So you'll have to tell me if you get.
If they're on the Switch, if they're on the Switch and they are revolving around first party, I almost certainly have them.
All right.
So
What if none of them are?
that'd be crazy. That'd be wild.
crazy.
And, yeah.
That'd be crazy. All right. So who you want to start? What's my first one?
Well, your first one was originally Resident Evil 4, but through some revelations, your game is going to be Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories instead. Yeah. I'm a weirdo and I really like this game a lot. It's definitely not everyone's cup of tea. So I if you're not feeling it, I get it. But I wanted to see if you can see it through. It's not, in comparison to the other Kingdom Hearts games, it's not terribly long because it was a Game Boy Advance game that they made a PS2 game. I think the story is really good in this game as well. It's pretty simple but very effective at what it does. And it does set up for Kingdom Hearts 2. So
Okay.
it's kind of, to me, it's sort of like it is kind of a good, I would argue it's a necessary step to play, or at least know the story of, until before getting to 2. So
Alrighty then.
yeah.
Sounds good. Your first game is Bug Fables, bitch.
I do have it. Yeah,
Bug
I own
Fables.
that. Yeah, I own that. Yeah, I have the collector's edition of that.
I sing
Sitting
Bug
over-
Fables praises every day of the week. Every day.
Yeah.
Like there's some stuff mechanically that's not, or like purely just like control wise is a little wonky. Just a couple minor things. Doesn't really take away much from me. Otherwise, it's like a really magical experience as a Paper Mario fan, especially at the time when there hadn't even been like a 1,000-Year Door remake. So it had been so long since like this return to form, and so much is like so shameless. It's like, down to the little designs that are like straight from Paper Mario. And mechanically, I think it might even be, it's like one of the better Paper Mario games. Just like you'll see how it's different than Paper Mario in terms of like you have the three characters that you play as, and the way you can rotate them in the battle system is really cool. But I just love the world, and for like an indie game, they made it such a fun world. The bug area, all these little bug things, and a lot of like actual lore in there. It's really cool.
That sounds charming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, my next game for you is a game that was on my list, and that's Ukulele.
Oh gosh.
I kind of want to try to do a review on it if we could. We don't have to. We don't have to by any means, but it would be interesting if that happens to line up.
The synergy moment.
If not, that's fine as well. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about it still on the channel in some way. if we're both able to get around to beating it. So,
Okay, very nice. Next up for you is Mass Effect.
I think
Do you not have it?
I own it on. I think I own it on Steam.
Own
So
it
I do
wherever
own
you
it.
like. Own it
Yeah,
wherever you play it wherever. You know,
play it wherever.
I have the original and I have the legendary edition. Either way, you know.
Hmm.
I just think Mass Effect was one I actually considered putting on my list because I ironically haven't beaten the original Mass Effects. I started with Mass Effect 2 way back when, and really loved that game. And then I've played a decent amount of the original, but never beat it.
Yeah, it's up there. It's on my. It's actually I haven't.
But Mass Effect, I've always
Yeah.
said would be right up your alley, like sci-fi fan, RPG. Just the amount of lore in it, like you can really nerd out in there. I mentioned this before. There's like a little codex element where you can just read through. Like they have so much lore in the world, and it's just really cool.
This is classic era BioWare too, which is like this is like after kind of the shining moments of Knights of the Republic, and they're coming in and making their own. They're making Dragon Age, they're making Mass Effect. Everybody loves them.
And Mass Effect 2 like really improves on a lot of it, but obviously Mass Effect it's ideal to start with that one, even though I didn't.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Cool. I guess it's about time for me. So, next up I have for you is
Pussy Princess 5000.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to get around to it, son. You beaten 7, so you need
I
to
haven't been
get around.
7.
How far did you get in 7?
Like 10
I thought
hours,
I
15 hours.
thought in your backloggery you had that.
I had it, not beaten. No.
Okay, well we're gonna switch this to Final Fantasy VII then, base game.
Damn.
We're switching it around. I thought you'd beaten it. So.
All right. Very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah.
All right.
It's an all-time classic.
I hear you.
You're like a third of the way through the game anyway, too, if you're 10 hours in. So.
But I'll start
Basically.
over. I will start over though.
Yeah.
I ain't no bitch.
At that point, you should. I think probably
Mm-hmm.
it's worth starting over at that point.
I'm just gonna give it to you. Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay, well, it's been
Seal it.
it's kind of guaranteed to happen in some way or another because I'm getting forced to play it by them. So yeah,
Put it in writing. It's done.
all right, okay,
It's going to be done. Surely.
okay, all right. Well, another game for you is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, beautiful. All right.
Yeah, remember I only put maybe 5, 6, 7 hours or something into this game when it. Not right when it came out, because it came out like the same week as as Breath of the Wild, and obviously I put a lot more time into that game. I put and I thought it was fun. I was enjoying it, but I
I'm
didn't put
into
much
it.
time into it. And so
I'm here for it.
yeah, yeah,
It was like a few years ago. Rusty actually gave me that in the gift exchange. So
yeah,
it's about time.
yeah. Especially just in time too, with a remake coming out, a remaster or whatever.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah. I don't.
What's the point?
So these next two, it's possible since they weren't on your list that you don't have them yet.
Okay.
So they sound like the kind of game you would get if you haven't gotten them yet. So,
Okay.
But let me know if you want to veto them, then so be it.
Okay.
The first one is Astrobot.
I own it. Yeah.
All right. There you go. Astrobot. give it a whirl.
Why are you saying it like that? It's weird.
That's how he sounds. He's a little robot.
Robot. He's a little cutie. I'll give you that.
Have
yeah.
fun in there, huh?
Okay, I will.
That's a good
Well,
one.
I'll tell you another place you can have fun. And that's playing my other favorite my other favorite Japanese RPG of all time, and that's Final Fantasy 13.
All right. All
You got to
right.
do it. Got to give it to him.
I'm in it. I knew it. I thought it would come. I thought it would come.
Hmm.
My my brother gave it to me for Christmas. I had it on my list, so
Oh, nice.
good timing here.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
All right, my last one for you is a little game called Sea of Stars.
I do own it. Yeah.
Sea of Stars.
I picked up the Japanese physical edition because I like the box art so
Yeah,
straight up. Yeah.
I
I
mean
was
it's
like the
beautiful.
box art of that is so good. I was like I'm getting that version of it.
But
So
this list I tried to curate specifically for you here. Sea of
this is
Stars.
very this is a very me list for sure.
Sea
I
of
try I mean
Stars.
I try to do the same with you as well, getting back to roots a little bit like
Hmm.
as because I think we first bonded over Japanese role-playing games. Platformer, and then another open world game, kind of like a seminal classic in terms of like modern open world games. So
But I'm glad
yeah,
I was almost sure that one of these would be on your list already, at least. So I was like, am I gonna have to pick
yeah,
another one? I don't
you
know.
no, you did a good job. You did a good job
Sea of Stars
curating
is a
it.
great game though, and I'm sure
Yeah,
you'll enjoy it even more than I did. Because I really like Chrono Trigger, but it's not like
yeah,
I feel like you are a lot more into it than I am.
yeah.
So
I adore that game. So
and
yeah,
obviously it's got plenty. It stands on its own. It's really nice, really nice. All the Baldur's Gate 3 I haven't played, but
mm.
for the most part, my highest recommendations here for you.
Well, our Terra tends to use the music a lot from it, all the battle music in our Pathfinder campaign.
Hmm.
I'm just like, man, this music is so good. It's so good. I just like that in my ears all the
Yeah.
so yeah. Now I'm gonna have to. So
I want that in my ears like yesterday.
like yesterday, okay.
I'll say one thing I was surprised you didn't have on your list was Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. So I wanted to. So for that game, I really want to try to give myself more space and not put a lot of pressure on myself to play it.
Hmm.
So I held off on doing that because like
Good thing I didn't give you it
I
then, because I thought
yeah
about it. Was
yeah I didn't I that's a game because Zelda. I'm kind of in this weird spot with Zelda now where it's like I can't believe I didn't play a Zelda game at launch. Like I didn't sit down and play through it.
hmm
And I found myself last year I replayed Link's Awakening instead. Actually I guess I did that. I guess technically it was 2023 I did that, so it wasn't that recent. But instead of playing Tears, I played through that again. Right. So and then like I like after I did the Mario Wonder, I did the 100% completion of that, that was ridiculously hard by the way. Um
Oh yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
that was crazy. Then so after doing that, I I put in the Echoes of Wisdom instead.
Mm.
So I'm gonna start playing that instead. So like crazy, right? Like I haven't played the new seminal amazing Zelda game. I don't even
Yeah.
have like a real opinion on it. Like everyone's talked about. There's all kinds of opinions floating around about that. I've talked with my brother about it. My dad loves it. My dad's been playing it, and he's like in love with it. And my brother Josiah was like, I really liked it. I thought it was like almost too much. It was kind of Breath of the Wild again, but with more and I didn't really love that. I think he thinks Breath of the Wild's the better game because it's a little bit more focused because it just offers you the open world. And Tears of the Kingdom gets a little too granular for his taste. So,
Hmm.
and that's like I don't know. I when I had the little of it that I played, I thought adding another whole mechanic in terms of the like combining stuff together. I thought that was like one of the most brilliant things I'd ever heard of but then I haven't really played it, so I haven't really been able to form much of an opinion on it. So
Yeah, I think I played like 15 hours or so of it, something like that.
yeah,
And I remember at the time, I think I tweeted it. It was like, "Wow, I'm in love with this game." It's like I feel like I'm back in the exact mood I
yeah,
was when I was playing Breath of the Wild, like really
yeah.
get into the world. And then I dropped it for some reason. Haven't gone back. It was on my list up until the last second. I switched it out just because I felt like I had too many long games on my list. I wanted a
Mm,
little bit more evened out. because that one it said like on how long to beat. It's like 57 hours just to beat it.
Yeah.
And I know I'm playing that game. I'm not gonna just beat it. So
No.
it's
Yeah. So that's like one of those things for me where it's like I just wanted to like put the pressure off a little bit on that, like because like yeah, after that it was like I want to play Ecosystem, and like the only other thing I was thinking about doing is like I want to go back and run because I was just watching GDQ this past week, and they featured the Ocarina of Time randomizer in one of the runs. I love that. I think that's like that completely opened my mind to a new way to experience a game that is one of my favorite games ever and will always be. So I'm probably going to do that again probably the next couple of weeks, probably start doing that. And then so it's like I'm like with Zelda, I'm kind of stuck in the past with that, and I'm not like, even though I'm playing Echoes of Wisdom as a new game, I'm sort of like, yeah, I just want to kind of take the pressure off a little bit in terms of that. And then, so maybe I will end up playing it this year. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But
yeah, me too. Because I would like to. That's kind of the top of my list of the Zelda games. But I also considered a couple other Zelda games putting on my list. We're just putting like a Zelda game as one of my 10. But it's because I still haven't beaten Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword. So those three are kind of like the ones that are the ones I want to get to mostly. So I might get to them. I might get to one of them this year. Who knows? But as we have it here, we have 15 games each to choose from.
Yeah.
And then how we want to go about it. You know, we can pick the 5 or valued at 2 points, and the 10 are valued at 1. So it'll be interesting to see how it shapes up, and who will come out the ultimate victor, the best gamer. Best gamer. Spoiler alert. It's me. It's me. It's always been me.
No, you ain't.
We'll see.
It's gonna be me. I will be the ultimate gamer.
We'll see. Right? I'll be the the ultimate gamer is that you beat all 15 games, and then you can never be dethroned.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. If like, what if we tie? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen then. That'd be weird.
We won't tie. If I see that we're tied, I don't know.
I will end it. I will end it all.
I'll kick it into overdrive just to make sure that it's not tied.
Yeah, you're pretty good at doing. You're better at doing that than me, I think. So.
Time to lock in, Alec.
Yeah, lock in.
Lock in this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great games on this list.
Yeah.
Between these 15. A lot to be excited to get to, but I do have some pretty long ones throughout. So hopefully there's a couple shorter ones. Not too many, but a couple I can sprinkle in there. And then, the other wildcard element that I didn't think, or I thought a little bit about, is what if we get paired with each other in a Gents Challenge? Do we have a certain way we go about it? Do we want to...
Yeah. Okay, that's an interesting point.
Would we want to assign each other a game that's already on this list, or specifically not?
Yeah, I mean, we could strategize it that way. I guess it depends on themes as well, because like there might be like a theme or not. We might not even be able to sprinkle that in, but yeah,
it'll just be interesting, and that could definitely be a little bit of luck for us as well, because the Gents Challenge is the extra kick. So if we happen to get assigned one of the games on this list, it'll definitely help. Like last year, Hogwarts Legacy was on my list of 10, but I don't know if I would have gotten to it if I didn't have it assigned to me in a Gents Challenge. So
right.
That was Dubs that assigned me that one.
He did.
So we'll see. The Gents Challenge is like it's an obstacle we have to navigate.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them this year. So
right,
we'll see.
Right,
I'm just trying to think. Like, if I was paired with you, would I give you one? It doesn't make sense for me to do it.
Yeah.
But like, if they're on the list and they would logically, like, especially if it's one of the 5, it would logically be one I would pick for you on a normal Gents Challenge.
Right, exactly.
But do I want to specifically block you from getting free points?
Yeah.
It depends on what my mood is at the time, I guess.
I guess so. If I'm feeling real frisky, I'll be like, nah, screw you, Zach.
I might do it.
Yeah.
I might wait for you to assign me. Wait for you to assign me and then respond in kind.
Yeah. I'll give you Tears of the Kingdom, Zach. That'll be on your.
Yeah,
There you go.
we'll see. It'll be interesting what the
Yeah.
theme is, though. To like how
Yeah.
many I'll be able to even work in on these challenge lists from
Right.
this. All right. Um,
Good stuff.
good stuff. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see.
Yeah. It
Like
will be
you said,
fun.
maybe we'll check in at some point along the year,
Mm-hmm.
see how it's going. All right, next up, let's talk about what's to come in 2025. What stuff are we looking forward to? All right. I'd like to start with the games, since we're on the topic.
Okay.
I don't have many in terms of games, honestly. The big question mark is the Switch 2, which inevitably
That's
will
kind of
come and just
right.
probably fuck up all of our plans at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my main big thing. That's the thing that's kind of actually like kind of scary about the previous list here.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been confirmed the one of the only things that we know for certain about the console that's not been revealed through like leaks and rumors and stuff is that the game that it will be backwards compatible with the Switch, which
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. It's their best selling console like in a long time, like since the Wii, which like was the GameCube and the N64 weren't exactly stellar sellers either. So it's one of the best selling consoles ever.
For sure.
And it would be extremely foolish for them not to do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big question mark for sure.
That's the thing we
Um,
didn't mention with making our previous list as well, is we made a point not to have any 2025 stuff on there. So
Mhm.
specifically backlog, not like, oh, I know I'm going to want to play this game when it comes out type thing. So that's another
Right.
thing we'll naturally have to navigate. It's like the new releases are going to distract
Yeah.
us as well. So it'll be
Right.
a big challenge. But for me, there's not too many.
Okay.
The first one is Tales of the Shire, the Lord of the Rings game.
That's such an awkward title. It's so weird.
I'm big into cozy games. There's still a lot I want to get to on my list, but
I
Tales of the
wasn't
Shire
really a
for some
big
reason-
I wasn't really a big fan of the art style that they
I'm
showed
not
off in
either,
this
really.
game. But it does. I will say it does seem to hit that like cozy vibe pretty well. All things considered, still.
Yeah, I think the
So,
jury's out on whether I actually will be here for it or not. Like,
yeah,
but I feel like ever since I heard it was announced, that it just seemed like cozy to me.
Mm.
With all the hobbits. It's a vibe.
yeah,
I guess I'll just run through mine. I don't have many.
yeah, yeah. Sure, go for it.
That one's early on in the year. That's March. And then there's
Mhm.
Fantasy Life the Girl Who Stole Time. I previously
Sure.
played Fantasy Life on the 3DS,
Yeah,
and it's really good. I really like that game.
is there a Switch remake for that too, or like port
Not
sort
that I
of?
know of.
Oh,
Maybe there was.
I'm even thinking of a different game. I don't know.
But Fantasy Life is the one where it's an RPG where there's a bunch of different jobs to pick from. Like you could be like a carpenter, a cook, all these different roles. And it impacts how you play the game. You can switch to different roles. It's a cutesy, also kind of cozy vibe, but it's an RPG at the same time. It's been years since I played it. I think it was like 2013 that game was.
Yeah, I think that's
So-
when it came out. It was,
Very
like, back
weird,
then.
very weird name for the sequel though. Fantasy Life the Girl Who Steals Time. I don't know what they're
Like-
going for there. But
Like I is like an imaginary number maybe. That is weird.
it's weird though.
Yeah.
And so
Wow, the
long
music
after
was
the
by-
original.
The music was by Nobuo Uematsu.
Hmm.
Wow. And developed by Level 5 too. I don't know if the new one. I don't think Level 5 like exists anymore, right? Do they? I guess they do.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm
don't
sure they do. I'm tripping.
These next few, I probably won't play this year, but they're just worth noting because I like.
Okay.
And there's previous ones in the series I still have to play. So Borderlands 4, I think that's cool. It's
Okay.
coming out. My brother and I play this together. We still have 3 to go through, so I'm
Mhm.
not gonna probably play that anytime soon. Fable ? Supposedly coming out this year.
Yep.
It's only on Xbox, so I'm not gonna really be able to play it, but it's worth mentioning. And I also still haven't beaten the original 2 Fable games, so that was another one I considered putting on my list to play this year. I thought it was worth mentioning. Little Nightmares 3 comes out. Because
Oh,
we
that's
previously
right.
Reviewed the original.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get to the second one at some point, and then the third
Yeah.
one's coming. And then lastly, Goose of Yotai. Yotai.
Yeah, Yotai. Yeah, yeah.
So, Ghost of Tsushima I just played last year. Again, I don't know if we'll get to Ghost of Yotai when it comes out because I still have a ton to do in that game in terms of like quests plus the DLC. So it's one of those things where it's like I want to be excited for the new game, but it's hard for me really to be when I know I have so much content to go through before it.
Mm.
But it's still cool. Still cool. So that's just my little list for games.
Okay.
Any others?
Well, yeah. So for me, it's interesting as I don't think we have any. We didn't have any crossover, which is fascinating. For me, it's interesting. Even though I haven't played the first game, uh, in this little sub series, I'm still very interested in Pokemon Legends ZA or ZZ Alpha.
Yeah,
I
that's the
don't
only
even
reason it's not
know.
on mine. That was another one that was really
Yeah,
considering on
yeah,
my list. Pokemon Legends
yeah.
Arceus.
I want to play Arceus. At some point. It's actually like speaking of Dub, we brought him up quite a lot. But he's a good friend of mine, so and he's pretty active in our
Mm.
little Discord. So but that's like one of Dubs' favorite games of all time. Like is
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends Arceus, which
Same with my
he's a
brother.
huge Pokemon.
Yeah.
He's a huge Pokemon fan. So whatever what that's worth. And I've heard like other people echo that as well. Say it's like the best
Yeah.
Pokemon game,
Damn,
which
now
is
I'm
like
kind of regretting not putting that on my list.
you know
Pokemon Legends.
uh, um another big one for me. This is actually probably there's a couple on here. We'll go through some other ones. Elden Ring Night Rain. The reason that I bring this one up is because it's a 3-player co-op game. So it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a game that I really
Yeah,
want
that
to
one.
play with Tara and Josh big time. Um, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. That was a game that was announced at the Game Awards, and it just piqued my interest. I think it looked really great. It was very visually striking, and I think it looked pretty cool. I don't know if I'll pick it up or not, but that's just kind of one to mention. Games that I am definitely extremely interested in getting when they come out. We'll start with Lost Soul Aside. It's a very
Mm-hmm.
unusual game, but this started. This is funny. The reason that I know that I've tracked the development of this game for quite some time, and it was like originally just like kind of an art project, sort of like a little like a one guy was basically making this game because he really liked the looks of Final Fantasy 15. And there was like, and Devil May Cry 5. Like he was like a big fan of how those games like looked and played.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like making a game that sort of took a lot of themes and ideas, and he was just like making his own game. And then he caught the attention of Sony. They hired him. They started like a whole Chinese branch because it was a Chinese dev. And then they've been working on that game since like 2015 or 2016 or something like that.
Hmm.
So this game has been in development for a long time. A previous podcast, it was a radio show that I had in college. Me and my friend Chris, started up. We did a podcast for like a good like 6 months or so. And that was a game that came up in like our news segment where it was like, it looks pretty great. Also the voice acting in the original little thing was pretty not great, and it was funny, but we were like, but the game itself looks like, as for a one-man little like art project, if this becomes a full-fledged game, like this could be pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like coming to fruition. It's supposed to be coming out this year, so I'm excited for that. Another huge one for me is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, giving extreme Lost Odyssey vibes.
Oh yeah, that was kind of one
And
I thought you might give me too on my
yeah,
Lost Odyssey because you gave me
yeah.
that like years
I
ago.
gave you that game. Yeah, that was actually that was a legitimate consider for your list. So, um, but yeah, it looks really good, really solid. I think it's gonna like retail for like it's not gonna be like the standard 70. I think they said it was gonna be 50 or something when it comes out. So, um,
We like that.
so Yeah, it's not too bad. It looks incredible, and I'm really interested in playing that. I think it's Xbox exclusive as of right now. But this is going to be one of those things where it's like this is going to be one of the very few exceptions where it's like that doesn't bother me. Like I don't care. Like I didn't even make that exception for the Indiana Jones game. Is how interested in this game that I am. Like I was like I'll wait for the PS5 version for Indiana Jones. I can wait for that. But for this, I was like, no, I want this like day one. I'm
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in on this. So, um, then Metroid Prime 4 is the other must play for me this year.
Mhm.
That's just like a shoe in. Like I gotta play it. It's my favorite, one of my favorite game series of all time. Um, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Absolutely.
Um, and the last thing is a question mark because I don't know if it's going to come out this year or not. They don't think they even projected a release date. It's like future, so maybe it'll come out this year. And that's Marvel 1943: Rise of Hydra.
Whoa.
I don't know if you saw a trailer for this.
Mm-mm.
There was a showcase where they were showing the devs showed off like some real time the game engine stuff for this game. Some of the I think it was like a tech demo for Unreal Engine 6, and some of the most incredible like motion capture and live lighting and it looks amazing. Like it's what I want from like a Marvel game, and it is very specifically going to be a single player experience. It's
Yeah.
not going to throw in any of this multiplayer crap. And it's set during an interesting period because it's World War II, so it's Captain America versus Red Skull. But there's stuff with like the Black Panther is like heavily involved as well. Um, and that is extremely cool, and I'm really looking forward to what sort of develops there in terms of like the plot and everything. And heck, you if they play their cards right, if they plan it out right, and if it sells well, you can make a whole trilogy of games with that. Marvel
Mm.
1943, 1944, and 1945, the last 3 years. So that could be pretty cool if that's a direction they want to go.
Yeah.
Um, but so that's a question mark. I don't know if that's even coming out this year,
Okay.
but
Cool.
I'm pretty excited for that game. So
Oh, I almost forgot. I forgot. I'm also excited for DK's Back coming out on the Switch too. All right.
DK's back. All right.
Yeah,
No,
that's so cool. It's so wild that they went for such an artistic thing, like a deep
DK's
dive in like a psychological, what is it, like thriller RPG set on Donkey Kong's back. It's crazy, crazy genre
I just
bending.
I saw that episode title again, and I was like, that's the best.
Yeah,
We need to that's the best game that's never gonna happen.
yeah, I
Never
know.
gonna come out.
I do want give me a Donkey Kong game though, for real. Like fuck off.
That just came out, didn't it? The new the
I said a new game. I
remaster.
said a new
The new
game. I want a
Yeah, I
new
was like,
Donkey Kong game. Stop this.
they've released the same two games like 6 times in the last
Yeah, you
10
can't make me
15
buy that
years.
game again. I already bought it and played it on the 3DS as well.
Yeah, so let's see. Returns has been released 3 separate times, and Tropical Freeze has been released 2 different times.
Yeah,
So, you know,
they're really riding that since like 2010. Like,
2010,
fuck
yeah.
off. What are you doing over there? Where's Retro Studios at?
Yeah. Well, they're making Metroid Prime 4 now.
Barely.
Yeah.
Alright. For movies, well, I'll say
Yeah.
briefly TV. I don't have much. Squid Game season 3. I just watched season 2. Season 3 is also coming out this year. I don't know
Oh,
if
is it
you-
going to come out? Okay. So they must have filmed both back to back then, if that's the case,
I've heard
right?
like literally, I think it was an interview with like the creator who was like, we wanted to make it like all just one season, like they would just have 2 seasons to be done, but Netflix said
Mhm.
no, like they want a third season,
Wow.
so they
Okay.
they just split it up, and they're releasing in the same
Cool.
year.
Okay. Good for them then. So they kind of cheated in a way. They sort of cheated the contract, I guess. In a
Yeah.
way, they're
That's
like,
what it seems
all
like.
right, well, we'll make two smaller seasons then.
But I want to say Squid Game season 2. I watched it like the
Hmm.
first week of this year, and I thought it was really good.
I've heard people say it was actually
I
it was
love
really
it.
good.
I loved
It
it.
didn't just do the same thing again. It was like it was different. That's what I've heard anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
cool.
then Stranger Things 5. I still have to watch Stranger Things 4,
Yeah, yeah.
so I want to try to catch up for that. Black Mirror season 7.
Oh yeah,
We
right.
haven't watched season 6 yet, so we should try to
Hmm.
watch more of that. Like we only have one episode left of season 5, and then
Yeah.
we'll be into season 6, which neither of us have seen any of. So, but yeah, I know season 7's on the way, and then lastly, Daredevil: Born Again.
Oh yeah, right.
I've been rewatching season 1 so that I can watch the next 2 seasons, which I haven't watched before.
Hmm.
So I'm almost done season 1. I'll be able to do that. So hopefully I'll be able to catch up with some of these things in time to watch them.
Hmm.
Did you have any TV stuff?
I didn't really have any TV. I think Daredevil is probably the one I'm most interested in. Um,
Did you watch the 3 seasons of it
I
before?
watched. No, I actually only watched the first season of Daredevil. And
It's
I
really
thought it was
good, yeah.
incredible. I thought it was so good, and then it felt like Marvel TV after that. Basically, everyone I talked to was like, "Yeah, you watched the best season of any Marvel TV show."
For
After
real,
like at
right?
that point, it was like, "Oh,
It's like one of my
that's too
favorite
bad."
seasons of television, period, I feel like.
It was incredible. It was like inspired. It
Yeah.
was like, wow, we're really entering a new era. And then it was like, oh, and then Luke Cage was like kind of okay, and then Jessica Jones, I guess, was really good. It was just super dark.
That's what I've heard.
And then like Iron Fist was really bad, and
Mhm.
then the combination show was not. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great.
Mhm.
And then Inhumans was like fucking horrendous, and no one wanted to ever talk about it. I don't think anyone watched it. I'm
I
trying to remember.
I want to slowly make my way through some of those though.
Cloak and Dagger. I just my friend Josh, who's a big comic book fan, I was like, hey, did you ever see the Cloak and Dagger show? He was like, there was a TV show about Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, I didn't even remember
I was like,
that.
yeah. I was like, yeah, there was. It was a freeform show. He's like, this is the first I've ever heard of it. So I was like, this is a comic book guy. He knows all this stuff, and he still
Mhm.
didn't know that existed. So I was like, I don't know. I guess that wasn't great. Probably. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, like, I don't know. Probably whatever. Whatever. I say whatever the Vince Gilligan's new show is supposed to be coming out this year.
I didn't know there was one.
Yeah, he's been working on it with. Oh, I can't remember her name off the top of my head now. 'Cause I think Ree Seahorn or Ray. It's Ray, I believe, is actually how you pronounce that. Ray Seahorn. She's supposed to be the lead actress in it, I believe. And because she's incredible in Better Call Saul, so that's looking forward to that. But yeah, I think his next show is supposed to be coming out this year.
Okay.
So and that's apparently premiering on Apple TV Plus. I'm probably gonna have to get in order to watch it.
You're gonna have to get
Which
what?
is
Your mic
Apple.
cuts out sometime.
Oh, weird. Apple TV Plus apparently is what you need to watch that show. So that's kind of unfortunate. I don't have that, but I guess I'll get it for that. So
Yeah, I don't think I can get that. I can't justify it. Too many things already. So movies coming out. We've got a few. I want to first mention the ones that I feel like are almost surely going to be Tarqaron reviews on the channel. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, these aren't. Most of these are ones I'm looking forward to. A couple I'm not really, but I know I'm going to watch. So it's basically this is the list of ones I know I'm going to watch for the most part.
okay,
And that's Wicked for Good. Excited for that.
definitely. Yep.
That's definite. Snow White. We'll be watching it.
I'm not looking forward to it. It's not on my list because I'm not looking forward to it. But yeah,
Lilo
we'll
and
be
Stitch
watching it.
also.
Why?
We're gonna try to do the originals before as well.
Yeah.
See a little comparison.
Yeah. We'll try to do a little bit of that. Yeah.
A Minecraft movie. We'll be watching it. We'll be reviewing it. That's for sure.
Geez, Zach, there's not a lot to look forward to this year on this list yet.
Until Dawn. Until Dawn, we gotta review it, I imagine.
We gotta review it. Yeah, we have to.
Elio. Pixar movie.
I'm looking forward to this one. I think it looks very charming.
Zootopia 2.
Same.
I'm seated. I'm here for it.
Yep. Very charming.
The other ones I don't know if we'll review, but a couple worth mentioning. Happy Gilmore 2.
What?
Where we at?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
What? No. I kind of don't want to do that. I love that first film. I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan, but I love that movie. That movie's hilarious. So that's so weird.
It's happening.
It's happening, huh? Yeah.
Captain America: Brave New World.
That's on my list. Yeah.
I'm not fully up to date with a lot of Marvel stuff, but that's one I feel like I can watch because I know the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We watched that.
Right.
So.
Right.
That'll be cool. And then Freakier Friday. Where are we at with this?
I was sort of like, why did they? I was kind of blown away because I think I saw that there was another Freaky Friday remake. Because Freaky Friday has been made the story that has been made into a movie like 6 times.
Yeah. That was like already a remake. The Freaky Friday that we're now doing a sequel of was already a remake. Yeah,
it was already a remake, and Disney had actually already remade it once before, like 10 years earlier as well. It was in the 90s.
Okay, well,
it's super weird.
Freaky Friday movie series review incoming.
We review every version of it and see which one we like the best.
Freaky Friday. Yeah. Is it just all called Freaky Friday?
Yeah, they're all called that.
Mm. Freaky Friday, Freaky Friday, Freaky Friday, Freakier Friday.
Yeah.
And then the Naked Gun remake, which I started looking through this list when I discovered that was actually existed. And The Naked Gun is a movie I love, the original. And I don't have faith in it being good, but
no, it seems like a very bizarre. It seems like a really bizarre thing to remake to me, but
yeah,
like remaking Airplane or something. Like,
yeah, I mentioned it previously, but this is the one I suggested to you that we review the trilogy.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should
because I've been wanting to. I love them, fun. And I sent you that for the birthday gift exchange. One day we can review it.
Yeah,
and so. Maybe we'll do the 3 leading up to it. But so, what I do know about the remake is that Liam Neeson apparently stars in it as he's like a grandson or something to the character from the original or something like that.
All right.
And then there's some random people in it, like Liza Koshy. You know Liza Koshy?
Probably no. Who?
She's a YouTuber.
What?
She famously remembers she was in a relationship with David Dobrik, and there was a big breakup.
I just looked up. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Very random.
That's super random.
And the story is done by Seth MacFarlane. So it's weird.
This is.
I'm just hoping. That alone is not disqualifying because the original had some weird, random cameos and stuff.
Yeah.
Literally, OJ starred in the original movies. He's not like an amazing actor or anything.
Yeah.
So you can still do good comedic moments with it. But Seth MacFarlane, I'm worried just because he has such a specific style. Hopefully, he's being very mindful that he's going for the original Naked Gun style.
Well, I really like Ted. I think Ted's a great movie. It's very funny.
Just bring him in.
Just bring in Ted. Ted just showed up. I think Ted's a great movie. I don't know anything about Ted 2 or the series. I don't know how good those are. But that is bizarre.
Yeah. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe he's like a huge Naked Gun fan, and he'll do it justice. Maybe.
Maybe. I hope so. I mean, hey, he was behind the Orville,
Mm-hmm.
and that's apparently really great.
And A Million Ways to Die in the
So,
West.
yep.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
It was not received
It,
well at
it
all.
looked no, it looked pretty bad.
I
But
actually
my
kind of
friend,
liked it though.
yeah, you're not the only person. One of my friends in the I have around here, he actually speaks pretty highly of it. He says that he's like, I know a lot of people hated it. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was a good movie.
It's
So
hit or miss. Some of the jokes are
yeah,
just stupid, but
yeah,
for the most part, I enjoy it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I like him as a person. Like he's a very charming, and I think he's a very naturally funny person.
uh-huh.
And also he has like a beautiful singing voice. So like, and
Like
he's just
American
he's
Dad.
yeah. Well, I was thinking like all of his Sinatra-esque stuff, but yeah. Good
Yeah.
Good Morning USA.
Yeah. American
Yeah.
Dad, Family Guy, of course.
Yeah.
Family Guy is
Yep.
still consistently like one of the most streamed shows ever. Like,
Yeah.
every
I'm
month.
assuming people got to just be streaming those earlier seasons, right? Like
I don't know. I don't
or
know what's good
or
with it.
or just leaving it on when they're having sex. Like I feel like that's got to be a thing that's happening a lot too.
Really
Sure.
weird.
You have a date over, you're like, "Hey, let's chill out, let's smoke a bowl and have
That's
a good
very
time."
specific, and let's not try to act like everybody does this. Just tell me you do that.
I do not do that. I knew people that definitely that 100% did that. So,
What? All right. Weird
yeah,
people.
I had friends at a restaurant. There was a couple at a restaurant I worked at that they 100% did that. So,
You're just assuming they did that, or
no, I
they
am
told you this?
based on conversations that we had. That is certainly what they did.
What? I don't even want to know these kind of conversations that you make. You have to leap to that.
Okay, well, maybe not. It wasn't always sex. It could have been just making out or whatever,
Like a
But
Family Guy just turns me on. Is that what they're
I
saying?
don't.
Like
No,
that's
nothing
what they
like
said in
that.
the
No,
conversation.
no. It's like one of those things where it's like background. We vibing. You throw something on. You're like, yeah,
I
love
hear
having that
you.
show on, and then just like they're doing. It's Netflix and chill in a nutshell. So that's the whole vibe. You throw Family Guy on. It's something you don't really have to pay attention to. But you can still like occasionally take breaks and like chuckle and then get back at it.
I don't know. I feel like Family Guy is a weird one because I don't know.
I think you underestimate the power of a good smoke.
I'm just
A good
saying.
a good couple of bong hits.
To
And
me, I can imagine it. Like some of those voices in that show, and
oh,
and
I can't.
the cutaway
I
gags. You never
I
know what
couldn't
you're
do
gonna get.
I couldn't do it either. Though I did make out my way through the entirety of Jersey Boys, and I don't really remember that. So I will. But
You could be making love, and there's like a terrorist joke pops up. You never know what you're gonna get with Family Guy. It's like
hey, well, that just makes it funny,
that's exactly what you want.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah.
Well, the last one I wanted to mention was that there's a new SpongeBob movie coming out. Because I watched the first.
I saw that.
It was the first 2 or 3 SpongeBob movies I watched, but haven't watched any since. I don't know,
Are there like 4 now?
something like that.
Maybe there's only 3.
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's definitely a newer one that I hadn't seen before this. But what else? What other movies are coming out?
Okay, so for me, there's a movie that's coming out in March, I think. I think it's premiering next month, but there's a movie I actually just saw a trailer for today when I was seeing Nosferatu, and it's called Mickey 17.
They've heard of that.
And it's by Bong Joon-ho, same director of Parasite,
Right.
and it looks like a black comedy thing / commentary on something or the other. I don't know exactly what, but it's like a future where like Robert Pattinson's the lead character, and he basically like takes a job at being like an expendable. So it's like he's off doing like extremely dangerous jobs that are almost certainly going to kill him. and then they're just gonna like reprogram. They'll like it's basically clone him, put his brain back in, or make a new version of him again, and he's off doing something else that's dangerous. And I think, well, it's called Mickey 17 because it's about the 17th iteration. At least I'm assuming that that's at least some of it. We'll probably see earlier iterations too, I'm assuming, based on the trailer. But I thought it was very funny and it looked interesting. I was very interested. I think Robert Pattinson's great too as an actor. So,
Cool.
Superman. Really, really looking forward to
Who
that
is
Superman movie. Who's
I've never heard of that character.
yeah, I don't know. He's kind of new. Yeah, he's kind of a
Yeah.
you wouldn't think it would be, it seems like a superhero. You think there'd be a Superman. It's well, I don't know, but
I feel you.
I think that looks great. Fantastic Four First Steps. I really like.
How many first steps was it? It's a Fantastic four first steps.
Yeah. So I like the throwback that we're going back to like a real like 50s 60s sort of vibe.
Yeah.
For this, I think that's great. I like. We need a little refreshing period piece, I think, in our Marvel. So it's nice to do that every so often. And most everything else you said. I have Thunderbolts on here, but if I'm being really honest, I don't think it looks that good.
I'm not particularly interested in it, but
yeah, and I'm probably just going to see it just to fulfill the Marvel film obligation. But it look.
Who's the obligation to, Alec?
I mean, I'm not like up to date on the TV. I kind of stopped caring about most of the TV. So I still want to give the movies a shot, though, for the most part. Because I think I'm up to date on movies. I'll have to double check that. It might be a movie or two I'm even missing. So at this point, I guess the only other thing on here that wasn't on your list is a movie that I will say I'm hesitantly interested in this movie, and the reason is I love Tron and Tron Legacy. I'm huge fan of the original Tron. I think Tron Legacy is a fantastic sequel. Tron Ares, it's one of those things where it's like it's a little late. I was hoping for a sequel that was going to be a little bit more recently than Tron Legacy came out in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really like wow. I don't like Jared Leto.
Damn.
So, and I don't think Jared Leto's that good of an actor. I think he's generally the worst, or at least worst parts of the movies that he's in. And it's like it's a testament to the filmmaking that he didn't ruin Blade Runner 2049, which is like one of my favorite movies of all time. And
he was a part of why it was so good, though, right?
No, he's not in it for very long, and so thankfully he doesn't really ruin that much of it. But, yeah. So I'm very hesitant about that movie, just because. Why did we pick him? Why did we pick him? Why did we pick the cult leader? Why did we pick this weirdo? So.
Why? Yeah. You can't keep getting away with it.
No, you can't keep getting away with this. So yeah, but it's Tron. I love Tron. I'm looking forward to it. I think there's a new Tron game coming out too. I probably should have had that on my list, but I didn't.
Oh, really?
Anyway. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be. I realize it's a big Lilo and Stitch year for me. I mean, I've always loved the original Lilo and Stitch, but
yeah.
I was assigned Lilo and Stitch the series for this TV challenge. So,
that's right. Yeah.
And that's an undertaking. There's 39 episodes that first season.
Yeah.
So that's been tough, but I've had that, and then we're gonna be rewatching the original to review it, and then we'll have the remake. I also got the Lilo and Stitch Monopoly for Christmas.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Dr. Jub Boom. I don't remember that.
Jumba.
Jumba. Yeah, Dr. Jumba. He's
Jumbo
Park
Jukiba.
Place. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what
So
he is. I
there was one other game I thought of that, like, I think maybe it's coming out this year. I'm not sure.
Okay.
What was the name of that game that we had previously, way back in E3? We said it was like our favorite
Oh
game.
yes. That is coming out this year. I think. I think they finally like. That was at E3, by the way. Yeah, it's that pixel art game,
Yeah, it's
right?
like kind of like neon
Yeah.
lights.
Oh, what is that called? Yeah, it kind of like disappeared after that for like a while,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, is that game ever coming out
But
now?"
from
Like,
what I
what the?
recall, was that going to be an Xbox only thing? And is
I
it?
think it. Yeah, I think.
I'm not sure if it is or not. If so, I'm probably not going to be able to play it. But it's one of those names that's like so plain that like,
Yeah, it's like convicted or something. It's something like that, but I don't know.
well, it's like a name like Control,
Yeah,
like Returnal, like these kind of like.
yeah.
What is
All
it?
right. The
Give it
name of
out a
that game
name.
is Replaced.
Replaced. What an awful name
Yeah,
for a game.
it's not a great. It's honestly, it's not great. But it looks incredible. So
So
yeah,
incredible it's uncredible.
it looks incredible.
I mean, yeah. So is
Yeah,
that an
that looks
Xbox
good.
only thing? Is that for sure?
Of course, now that I found out what it was, it even exclusive or not. Um, um, no, it's on Steam, so it's not completely.
For
It's
me,
coming to
that doesn't mean
It's it's coming to PC and Xbox, so it would be an Xbox exclusive, at least to start with. Maybe it will come to PS5
yeah.
eventually, but
Since I don't do the PC, I'm
mm,
basically out on that. I'll sit that one out for now.
yeah,
So what am I gonna buy an Xbox for? I still haven't played my Xbox One.
it would. I would assume it's probably going to be out for that. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be.
Oh really?
I,
They don't do the Series X now? Like after all this time?
you know how many things are still backwards compatible? Like
So,
most system stuff is
man,
still
if
backwards
that's the
compatible
case,
with
I'm
everything.
definitely never buying a
Yeah,
Series X.
yeah.
Idiots.
It's pretty stupid. I mean, well, hey, you look at the list of PlayStation 5 exclusives. That list is low, especially now that they're releasing all their games on
Yeah, but the
PC also.
PS5 fucks.
It does. It is a really great system. But
So you
um
want that PS5 version
yeah.
just to have it.
Yeah, platform PC, Xbox Series X, Xbox One.
All right, I'm there.
Yeah,
All
there you
right.
go.
It'll
I
be
mean,
the
I don't
one
see
game
why
to get me to play the Xbox One.
the thing is like about that is like if you made that Series X, it'll be like, why? This game can easily run on an Xbox One.
Well,
So
yeah.
yeah. Unless they change their mind, maybe. I don't know. They could do that.
So that's the stuff we got on the horizon. But as always in the year, lots of surprises will come that we aren't expecting, be it movies, games, and especially Switch 2. A big question mark. I want
Yeah.
to
Huge question mark.
see what's going on there.
Current rumor later this week, the week you're recording, is supposedly they're going to be a showcase for it. That's the big rumor. There's a lot of credible sources for that.
Is that
And
the
then
one
some
that the Ninja Pengu shared? Is it the same
I
one?
actually I haven't really checked. I only got that through Twitter. I haven't really checked our Discord very
Because that
like
rumor had a
recently.
couple of
So
games attached to it. I'm curious if there's any legs to that.
yeah, I don't know about that. So the rumor that I read was basically like they're gonna do like a showcase, like a console showcase that might show a couple again like a larger software showcase,
Mm-hmm.
like in sometime in February or March. So,
Because
which kind of tracks a little bit with the original Switch. The original Switch did that too, where they revealed the console and then like a few weeks later, they did like a big showcase of like a bunch of software. So
the one he shared had like Mario Kart 9 was one of the
oh
ones.
yeah, I think that's kind of bunk.
Really?
I don't know about well, I just don't know if I'd
Is
buy
it
it.
bunk or debunk? Because bunk is good, right?
Well, debunk
It's
when you
bunked.
debunk something, I say when I say it is bunk means it's like it's kind of like yeah, it's
It's
kind
still
of crap.
bunk.
That's bunk, man. That's bunk, bro. Bro, that's so bro and that's so bunk.
All right. Well, yeah, I've
Anyway,
heard there's so many leaks and stuff. I haven't really been keeping up with them
yeah.
very well. I've been meaning to check it out, but
Yeah.
Why can't Nintendo just announce something without everything getting leaked?
That's the thing. It's like why are you taking so long to announce the thing? Just do it. You
What's
should have done it
wrong,
last
Nintendo?
year.
Is something wrong?
No, I don't think so. They're just doing their own. They're going their own
They're doing
way.
their things. And
Yeah.
then Sakurai's gonna be pissed again when the cutscenes leak. All right.
Well, so did you know that he is working on another game?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Well, because what the crazy thing is, like, almost every single episode of his YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
was done in like years. Like when he first started it, he recorded pretty much everything in it, and I would say the first few weeks, because it like did a time skip forward. And it was like, oh, it's 2 years later, and it's like, oh, he's age has finally started to catch up to this man. For first of all, so he is actually mortal. So we know that for certain. And also, he was like, yeah. So this whole time while I've been working on the channel, well, is uploading right and such. I've also been working on another game that I can't tell you about.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, do you stop working ever? He's like, yeah, I pitched it to Nintendo and it's happening and we're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying what it is though. You're gonna have to wait and find out.
Yeah, who knows?
I want it to be. It's probably be Smash Brothers again. I know he said he retired.
Then
Maybe he'll come back for another one. Though? He said he's pitched it. I mean, they've been developing it. No, he said like
shit about Smash.
I don't know.
You don't need to pitch that.
Probably
they probably pitched him.
Pitched him. Yeah, that's true. My honestly, my actual wish is Kid Icarus. I want another Kid Icarus really bad.
Kid Icarus downtown.
Instead of Uprising,
Kid Icarus, come on down.
Come on down.
That's the Price is Right. That's the Price is Right crossover. You didn't know you wanted. And Pitt has a lot of quirky things to say, you know.
Yeah.
In the Price is Right arena.
He's got a lot of wacky, weird things to say. Let me tell you. That Pitt.
Oh, Goddess Palutina's not gonna like this.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. But really, it's gonna be Kirby Air Ride 2, and you're not ready for it.
Hey, that'd be cool. Honestly, if it's like a new, weird, wild IP, that'd be fine too. Yeah, I'm fine with
if he's
whatever.
Pitching it, like, don't tell me you're pitching something and it's just like Kirby 25. You know?
Well, he talked about pitching it like kind of. I think he said like right around when he was starting the channel, and then they've been working on it ever since because it was like a went through. It was like a thumbs up to it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, it should be good. Should be good.
Yeah.
But I secretly have always wanted a Kirby Air Ride 2 because I think there's so much they could do with it, like to really make it great.
You could honestly make City Trial into its own game.
The game, and you could flesh that out so much. Because even when you go back to play City Trial, it's like it's kind of a shame. There's kind of limited in the events that can happen. If you could have just a shit ton of more things happening, and then different mini games after, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
I'd be here for it, and then have like way that we can play online and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Before we go for our New Year podcast, let's read some comments. Not too many, I don't think, but let's check them out on our Taking on Akinator video. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we usually look back on the videos we've created first.
It's kind of there's too many though. This is like 3 months worth now.
Hold on, let me see. How long has it been since our last one?
Like I said, it was October. It was our Halloween one.
October. Yep. So 2 months ago. Well, 2 months according to what it shows on YouTube. That could be like 2 months and 29 days.
Yeah.
All right. So since then, we posted the finale of Micronesia. We posted the Joker Folie à Deux, The Quarry, Survivor Micronesia Review, Presidential Survivor, Ranking Survivor seasons, ranking Survivor winners, pilot palette, Black Mirror Smithereens, Firefly Lane pilot palette, all the Survivor Gabon episodes we posted so far, which is about 6 or 7 at this point. The Taking on Akinator video, the Wicked review, Mind Crushers number 8, Greg, Moana 2 review, the Buddy Cop Gents Challenge conclusion, Bargain Bin, the Suicide Squad, the review show, Leo's Fortune Bargain Bin, the Polar Express, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Mufasa, opening 100 plus custom Tarqaron cards, 5th edition, our top 10 of 2024, Super Mario Sunshine review.
Yep.
What's the best of all of those videos? What's your favorite?
I really like the Wicked review. Yeah.
No one mourns the Wicked.
No.
The Wicked, okay.
There's a lot in there, you know. So it's just like it's tough to really just pick one.
It's tough to just pick one, yeah.
Yeah. But that was a highlight for me. Like I'm glad we made the wherewithal to go see it.
Yeah.
And watch it because it was a big highlight last year. So.
I think the Polar Express was a fun review. I remember that was a fun one that we did.
Yeah.
And Tarqaron cards, always great. And our top 10 is always great. So, Mario Sunshine review was a lot of fun as well.
The top 10 thing that I had left out. There's one thing you said, like, oh, you left this out.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I can't remember what it was.
You're leaving it out now.
Yeah, I'm leaving it out now because I don't remember. Because another thing that I left out. Oh yeah, it was Phoenix Wright. I think that probably it would have been honorable mentions easily. But I also left out something that arguably could have been a contestant for top 10, and that was Divinity Original Sin 2.
Oh.
So yeah, to my shame, but at least an honorable mention here. There's that.
All right.
Yeah.
So we had a comment from Ari Louie on our Taking on Akinator video.
Hey, there he is.
He says, such a classic. I remember when I first discovered Akinator and spent so much time trying to stump it with different characters. Reminds me of the simpler times on the internet when I was playing things like Line Rider and Toontown and finding the latest viral videos on E-Bomb's World. Really fun video idea, gents. This was a blast from the past. What is E-Bomb's World?
Really? You don't know E-Bomb's World? Here's the thing. I'm actually a little surprised Rusty does because he's not. Me and him aren't like too. I think you're younger than both of us, but you're closer to age to him than I am to him. I think he's like 2 or 3 years younger than me. I think you're about 4 years younger than me, from memory. So I'm a little surprised that he knows what it is because I was not really cognizant of it until
Toontown. No, I know that was my jam.
Yeah, so you know Toontown at least. So E-Bomb's World is a YouTube precursor. It was a video sharing website. Yeah, and in fact, a lot of YouTube was populated by people who stole content from E-Bomb's World and re-uploaded it. Nice. Not kidding. It was actually that was like the big kind of like thing, the big like frustration between people that used both. It was like, people are just stealing stuff from E-Bomb's World and putting it on YouTube, and then,
yikes.
You know, well,
the rest is history now. It was the Wild West back then.
It was.
You could just fuck around and you would never find out.
Even though all the E-Bombs World videos all had a huge like freaking watermark on them, the E-Bombs World on it. So so that's fun too. That because like I didn't know what the Akinator was.
Yeah,
I never heard of it. So, but apparently it was.
You were on E-Bombs World while I was akinating.
No, our internet was horrible. We had terrible internet for most of even through high school. We had really bad internet. So
okay,
we had dial up till I was probably like a sophomore or junior. So
I'm just seeing if there on Survivor Gabon comments if there's anything you can mention here. Brian Thomas commented on Survivor Gabon episode 3 Sugar Shack. He said, "I've always felt so bad for Jackie. On another season, she probably makes it pretty far." That's true. Like a lot of these, like players, they kind of get swapped into the situation. We kind of just like glaze over them, but if you think about it, like she could have done well. Just kind of screwed there.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Kind of by proxy. He also said Randy's performance on the water lacrosse challenge is unironically one of the greatest challenge performances of all time. IMO. Something.
Unironically.
Yeah. He was doing
Yeah, I
well
mean,
while he
he
was
he did
there.
sort of he did kind of dominate the whole time. So
He also said in the next episode, The Lost Golden Child, he said, when I last rewatched the season, my buddy and I replayed Ace getting narfed in the face by a watermelon a solid 7 times because we were laughing so hard. Narfed?
it was really funny.
Absolutely.
Right in the face. Nerfed.
Rogue Merc also said that I think elephants are migratory, not territorial. Alec.
Okay.
Because he said it might be like a territorial thing that he was doing, fucking up the.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that is true. They are migratory. So maybe he was just pissed off for no reason.
Dude's pissed.
He's angry. He was pissed.
He would be pissed off for no good reason.
No, yeah, they're right. That's true. They are migratory. But hey, maybe while it's migrating, it's like, this is my spot for right now.
It's territorial about its migration.
It's about its migration patterns, yeah.
On episode 5, Sugar in My Pocket, Brian said, Ace's confessional getting interrupted by the elephant is one of my favorite Survivor moments. For one thing, it's a candid scene where you can even hear the cameraman exclaiming his surprise. I didn't hear that in the moment.
Oh, that's cool.
But bigger than that, it's a fantastic emblem for this period of Survivor as a whole. We have Ace talking about his position in the game, the immunity idol, and his alliances suddenly interceded by nature. It's reflective of the essence of Survivor itself as a show at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, that was one thing that I thought was... I agree. That's actually a pretty great moment in general.
Yeah, I like the little authentic moments like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Ari Louis commented on our Tarqaron cards video. I mentioned to him because I was like, I'm not sure if you're up to date, but if not, I want to send you like pictures of some of these cards because you're every year you're in another card, a new title.
Yeah.
But he did go and watch. So he said, excellent video, gents. Major kudos to your brother for taking the time to put all these together. I can't even imagine the amount of time it took him to create all of these. It would be neat to have him on as a guest sometime to talk through his creative process for putting all these together. Always great to be part of Tarqaron history and memorialized in Tarqaron card fashion. Yeah, we should do that sometime.
That would be fun. I would like to do
Tarqaron card
that.
deep dive.
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on with this, Bill? What's up? What's happening?
Also, I believe Mission Impossible was a chance time review, but I would love for you guys to review all those films at some point. MI2 is considered a goofy early 2000s action flick, but I saw it in theaters as a kid and was obsessed with it. I couldn't quantify how many times I watched the VHS tape as a kid. There's a motorcycle scene in it that I thought was so cool I would ride my bike around the neighborhood humming the Mission Impossible theme song to myself, pretending I was Tom Cruise in the film. LOL, anyways, it would make for a great review series. Some of my favorite action films ever. Bum, 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 bum.
That's cute. I used to do that. Actually, there was one thing that I did. Rusty would appreciate this, actually, if he's still listening. I used to go to... There was a ride I used to do where I'd go up to like this bridge on my bike. And a few times I did this thing where I put like a towel on. I put like a green towel. I was trying to make it like a cape, like from Lord of the Rings. And I put this on, and I had like a sword, and so I rode my bike pretending I was riding in like Dorn on my bike with the sword. I did that a few times, and I was probably a little old to be doing that, but I thought it was cool.
Very nice.
I was probably like 14, 15. I was doing that. I was like, hell yeah, Aragorn's my hero. So.
All right, and then on our top 10 of 2024 video, Ari Louis says, excellent video, gents. Always love seeing how these top 10s come together for you guys, given how much could make it into the top 10. Happy to see Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live make the list. I binged all 11 seasons of The Walking Dead last year to catch up for the finale and leading into these 6 episodes. I stopped after the Negan arc when I was watching it live, but I'm really glad I went back and watched it all back to back. I completely agree with Zach that they wrap up the show well. I think it's best watched in the later seasons in a binging fashion because there are some arcs that just dragged on too long, which made the weekly episode waits a slog. Great conclusion, and anytime the characters and The Ones Who Live are front and center, you know it's going to be entertaining. Also happy to see Ghost of Tsushima on Zach's list. This video is a great reminder that I still need to play Celeste / Mario Wonder and watch Shogun and Furiosa. That's right. That's right.
Good. I was like, oh, he's gassing up Zach's list. I was like, eh.
Some
a
good
little
stuff in
bit,
there.
little bit of representation. Yeah.
Also, this guy named Thato, Thato, he commented on the video that he said the algorithm blessed me today with peak content.
Which video?
Our top 10 of 2024.
Really? Okay, thanks. I don't know if that's bot
I hope
glazing.
he's serious. Yeah,
I hope he's real. I hope that's real and not bot glazing. That'd be really nice. It'd be really nice if you think two guys just talking about movies and games that they played.
That's my peak comment.
Is peak content.
Right, I love that shit.
Me too. Hey, man. I Blink, Rusty. I mean, Pete Dorr.
Blink, you missed it.
I love top 10s.
Did Blink do his end of the year thing yet?
I think it just recently came out. He put I don't know if it was a full end of the year or not though.
Give it to me, inject it in my veins. I'm telling you, Blink's shit, I would put it right in my veins as like a drug to me.
He did. His top 10 games of 2024 came out just a day ago. It is 35 minutes.
Fuck, it's not long enough.
I know. I would say the same. It's actually kind of not long enough.
45 minutes. 45 minutes plus, and I arrive. All right.
Hey, it's always his stuff is always a staple of my listening day. You know.
Yeah.
At work, so.
All right.
I get it.
The last comment for the day is from my brother Krillin Ball Z. Krillin Balls, if you're nasty. And it's on our top 10 video. He lists his top 10 and honorable mentions. All right. Honorable mentions. If Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Final Fantasy VII Intergrade episode, The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 2, Fallout Season 1, Guardians of the Galaxy on PlayStation 5. There's the honorable mentions. Number 10 is Disney Dreamlight Valley. There's another one I considered for my list. I know he tore through this game in the last few weeks or so, right before the end of the year. And he said he's put 140 hours into that game already.
Wow.
Geez.
Isn't that kind of like a Animal Crossing ish game?
Yeah.
Like a sort of sim town simulation kind of game?
And it's very cozy. And the thing that people often point to as a criticism is that there's so many try to get you to pay money for stuff and anything.
Monetization stuff. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
My brother doesn't pay for that stuff. He just put in 140 hours. No problem. Without having to pay for stuff, I guarantee it. And I played 20 hours of it or something and really liked it. So I want to go back. Number 9 is Wicked.
Nice.
No one mourns the wicked. That's right. Number 8 is The Muppets.
Just them in general?
All
or
the Muppets. Get them in here.
I'm assuming that was The Muppets,
movie.
which was the movie, the 2010, 2011 movie.
I think so, because it was one of the Film Buffs challenges, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Inside Out 2 is number 7.
Very nice.
Shout out one time. Inside Out 2. Number 6, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion.
I'd still need to get around to that too.
Number 5, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Number 4, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Number 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And number 1, The Wild Robot.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out.
Yeah, Wild Robot. I know a lot of people gassed it up, so I gotta watch it.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I would like to play Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, but now I gotta play the shitty Final Fantasy VII first.
Oh yeah, it's so awful, so horrible. You'll have to play one of the most influential games ever made. Thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's tough. So there it is. It's the new year. 2025 Podcast Spectacular. A nice meaty one for you. That's right.
That was pretty meaty, yeah.
A round of applause for your servers.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking around and listening to us yap for
Yeah,
for a while.
so much fun in store. We've already named a ton of stuff that we want to get to this year, and
Yeah.
the fun journey is that so much random stuff gets thrown in the mix along the way. Not only from stuff that just comes out that we couldn't expect or anticipate, but from all our series where we watch random shit, literally random shit. Baby Shark do coming soon for us. That's how we're kicking off this year. Practically kicking off
the year with a children's film.
That's right.
Maybe the only review of it on YouTube.
Dude,
I don't really want to look up and find out.
yeah.
To be perfectly honest, that's
It could be like a hidden gem, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna come in and it'll be like a 9.5, and then it's gonna hit.
film of the year.
Someone's gotta
Wow.
say it.
Someone's gotta be brave enough to stand up and say it.
Thank you for joining us for another podcast. All right, until next time, you take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.